What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hangout Spot where you already know it's Real Talk Football Talk today. Live from my man cave, it's your boy Johnny. And let's talk Jets, baby, because the 2024 NFL season is finally here. The wait is over, and we are finally able, as Jet fans, to put that miserable 2023 season behind us, and now we are on, hopefully, to bigger and better things, man. We got the Chiefs and the Ravens that are about to open up the season in a few minutes. And then tomorrow, we actually have Friday Night Football, which is quite the surprise. You know, kudos to the NFL schedule makers for giving us Friday football on opening week. But then they crapped on us because now we got to sit through everybody else's game on Sunday in agony, waiting for our game on Monday Night Football when our New York Jets travel to San Francisco to face the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. And make no mistake about it, I know this game is going to be tough, but it's definitely winnable, man, because I think on paper we match up very, very well with the 49ers. As a Jet fan, man, if you're not excited about this season, man, there's something wrong with you, man. There is definitely reason for optimism, man. On paper, this team has the potential to be special if we can stay healthy, and obviously we can mask a lot of the coaching deficiencies that I'm afraid we're going to have with this same coaching staff. But make no mistake about it, man. Aaron Rodgers makes this team a title contender. And I know he's going to be 40 years old after the season starts. I know he's coming off a major Achilles injury. But maybe this thing was a blessing in disguise, man. It's never a bad thing for a 39-year-old quarterback to get a full year's worth of rest. Maybe it's going to do his body some good. Who knows? I mean, every indication, everything that you're hearing from some of the people that have been going to these joint practices during the preseason are saying that he's flinging the ball around, that he's looking like the Aaron Rodgers of old. And if so, super exciting, man, because he's healthy. But at the end of the year, we don't need the Aaron Rodgers that was winning MVPs in Green Bay, man. We just need we need a good Aaron Rodgers. If we have a good, solid Aaron Rodgers, this team can rock and roll, man. We have the talent. And I know I've been critical of Joe Douglas in the past, but he had himself a good offseason. Now let's see what he can do in the regular season when he faces adversity, because that was my biggest beef with him last year. Another good offseason last year, getting us Aaron Rodgers, you know, putting together a team that on paper people were thinking, you know, had the opportunity to compete for a division title and possibly make some noise in the playoffs. And then when that all fell apart, he went to sleep. We never saw him. Didn't address the quarterback position. Allowed the offensive line to fall apart without addressing any of it during the trade deadline. I mean, those are the things that frustrated me about Joe Douglas last year, because it didn't have to be a lost season, but it was. And I've said this time and time again. What separates the good GMs from the great ones are the good GMs will have good off seasons, and then they'll do what Joe Douglas did. The great GMs, you know, they're plugging in holes if they have injuries, and those are the GMs that usually turn teams and franchises into championship teams or championship contenders. And he has yet to prove that he's able to do that. But again, this is go time, man. This is win or go home, man. I don't expect this GM and this coaching staff to be back if the Jets don't make the playoffs. And I know I'm not the only Jet fan that feels that way. And shout out to my man Tyson Rouse from Let's Talk Jets Radio, because last week we had an opportunity to chop it up on a video. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you check it out on my channel. But he feels the same way, man. This has got to be a playoff team or heads are going to roll. The clock is ticking, man. You don't know how much longer Aaron Rodgers is going to play. You have to be able to maximize on whatever playing time he has left. Not to mention, like I said, there's no excuse, man. The offensive line was beefed up. We got a second wide receiver opposite Garrett Wilson. Don't think he's going to start the season, but Mike Williams is going to complement Garrett Wilson very, very well. He has, you know, the skill level to be a number one receiver, and that's what Garrett Wilson has needed for 2 years. Mind you, even without one, he's had good seasons. Even without good quarterback play, he's had all-pro seasons. Imagine what type of numbers he could put together this year when he's not double teamed off all the time, when he has a quarterback that can actually deliver him the football, man. It's going to be crazy. You got Breece Hall, who a lot of people are predicting could be offensive player of the year. Why not? His skill set, proves that he can be that dude. He's a great running back. When you hand the ball off to him, he has breakaway speed. He can hit home runs. We've seen it. And he's a monster out of the backfield catching the football. But you got to utilize his talent. And I don't know, man. I'm not so sure that Hackett can do that, man. The way that the Niners use CMC is the way the Jets have to use Breece Hall for this team to be successful. Period. This is a winnable division. I think the Jets, regardless of what happens on Monday night, should win 11 or 12 games. And in my opinion, that's enough to win this division. And then once you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. But again, a lot of things have to fall into place. We have to stay healthy. The offensive line has to continue to gel and get better and better. We've got some pieces now. Picking up Tyron Smith, I thought was a great move by Joe Douglas. I don't care about the injury history. At least we got a guy, an all-pro guy, that could hold it down for us while he's out there playing. And then we got his backup out there that we just drafted, Olu Fushano, who in the meantime is waiting in the wings, learning from one of the best that has ever done it. I mean, Morgan Moses on the other bookend, AVT is coming back healthy, and he's going to play one position. So hopefully he won't get hurt. Tittman, second year, a lot of promises first year. So again, there's some pieces on the line. We got some weapons. Our defense, I didn't even mention them once because realistically, you don't have to. The defense is special. The defense is what is going to keep us in games just like they did last year, but hopefully they'll be even better because unlike last year, hopefully this year they'll be playing with some leads, man. And they can go out there and they can play a little bit more loose and take more chances and hopefully force some more turnovers, during this game, man. But if it all, falls in place and we have a little bit of luck on our side and Robert Saleh doesn't do his best to screw it up, I think this team, can be special. But before we get ahead of ourselves, it starts on Monday night. And like I said, it's going to be a tough task to fly across the country and face a team that is fresh off a Super Bowl loss. I mean, they're licking their wounds. They're going to want to get the season started off on the right note. Their fans are going to be absolutely berserk. But I do think that there are 5 keys to victory that if the Jets can execute, will give them a great shot to win this football game. And it starts with number 5. The Jets have to establish the run and create an identity that they are a run-first team. This team has to be a run-first team. Why? Because they have one of the most electric young running backs in the NFL, and they have a very, very talented running back room. They just drafted these 2 kids, Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis, who are definitely looking like the part in the preseason. And they brought back Izzy Abanikanda. So you have 4 solid running backs. You have to run the football. You have to establish the run. You went out there and you beefed up the offensive line. If Aaron Rodgers just throws the ball 25 to 30 times a game and he passes for 2 touchdowns and they give the ball to Breece Hall at least 25 times out of the, running the football and possibly, 6, 7, 8 touches out of the backfield as a receiver, this team's going to win a lot of games. They're going to be successful. But they have to establish the run, especially in this game, because the Niners defense is no joke. Their front 4, no joke. Their linebackers, no joke. So you're going to have to be able to establish the run and hopefully work off play action, which will also give Aaron Rodgers an opportunity to ease himself into playing action, ease himself into chemistry, with these guys that he's never thrown a regular season pass to. So again, I think that's going to be the key to the season. But more importantly, if you want to get off to a good start, I think you're going to have to establish the run in this game against this team, which takes me to my key to victory number 2, which is hopefully by running the football, you're able to score early and play with a lead. I think it's imperative that we get off to a good start. We cannot continue to be that team that starts slow. And this is the same team we've been under Robert Saleh for 2 years. And then all of a sudden turn it up in the second half when we're down by 2 touchdowns. We can't do that. We got to get off to an early lead, especially in this game. You want to try to do your best to take the 49er crowd out of this game early. Going up by a touchdown, going up by 10 points will also enable the defense to play a little bit more loose and maybe take more chances and try to turn the ball over. I think turning the ball over is going to be key. If we can get a couple of turnovers because we're playing with the lead, I think that gives us a good opportunity to win. And it also gives our offense a lot more confidence, as the game moves on. So you got to be able to score early. We can't be that same team that gets off to a slow start. It's not going to work this year, and it's definitely not going to work week 1 against this team, which takes me to my key to victory number 3 is our offense needs to go through Breece Hall. I've already said that. The Niners offense already goes through their dual threat running back, which is the best running back, in my opinion, in the league, Christian McCaffrey. We got to take him out of the ball game. We got to find a way to limit his touches. Pick your poison, man. He's a beast out of the backfield running the football. He's a beast out of the backfield as a receiver. He creates all type of matchup nightmares for safeties and linebackers. Pick your poison, man. They will try to find matchup advantages with him as a receiver out of the backfield. We got to take that away. We got to take that away. It's almost like, let's make sure that we take away Christian McCaffrey in the passing game, even if it sacrifices a little bit on the running side, because you have to also have confidence in your front four as well, that they'll be able to stop the run. So the Jets are solid, with the front four as well. So my prediction would be take him out of the passing game and take your chances with him running the football, and then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, which takes me to my key to victory number 4, which is our D-line has to show up against one of the best offensive lines in football. It's not going to be easy, but again, we are the goods. We are very, very deep and talented, at the line position. And kudos to Saleh. If there's anything that I will give him credit for is he does a good job with the front four, rotating them in and out throughout the course of the game. I used to have a problem with that, but it's grown on me because you can't argue with results. It keeps guys in and out and it keeps them fresh. That way they have enough in the tank for later in the game when hopefully they're playing with the lead and they could try to close out the game. The front four has to show up and they have to make Brock Purdy uncomfortable. Brock Purdy is developing into one of the better quarterbacks in the league. A lot of people are calling him a system quarterback. I don't see it. And even if he is a system quarterback, well, guess what? He does that shit very, very damn well. I mean, he was damn near an MVP candidate last year. And he is the goods, man. He doesn't make a lot of bad decisions, doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. He's a very smart quarterback. But he's also been the quarterback that has been sacked the least in the last couple years. And if he's not the quarterback that's been sacked the least, he's definitely one of the top 3. Their offensive line is the goods. Trent Williams at that tackle position, probably one of the best tackles in the NFL. You got to make him uncomfortable. You got to rattle him. You got to hit him a little bit. You got to make him move out of the pocket. Again, a rattled quarterback is just like any other quarterback that gets rattled. They are prone to make mistakes and bad decisions. Which brings me to key to victory number 5, something that I am extremely passionate about. You got to limit the mistakes, limit the penalties. You have to be disciplined. Saleh, hopefully this is an area that you have gotten right as a coach, because discipline or lack thereof falls on the head coach. This team is consistently shooting themselves in the foot. Last year, they were probably the worst team in penalties. That is not a stat that you want to lead the NFL in. I mean, every single, game, 8, 9 penalties, 150, 160, 170 penalty yards, third downs being negated, first downs being called back because of stupid holding penalties, pre-snap penalties. Those are all a lack of concentration. These guys got to get it together. They got to concentrate. They have to be disciplined. And Saleh has to hold players accountable that continuously make bonehead plays. My biggest gripe last year was a guy who goes out there and commits 2 stupid bonehead penalties, and then he's in there the next play. Where's the accountability? Pull a guy, get in his face, make sure you let them know it's unacceptable, and if it continues to happen, you won't be playing. Get a backup in there, make a statement. Show some cojones. We got to be disciplined. Not just this game, the entire season, but this game definitely, because again, you can't make mistakes against teams of this caliber. You can't turn the ball over and you can't consistently give other teams extra plays or take away big plays from us because you are undisciplined. The penalties have to stop. If the Jets are able to play a clean game, their D-line shows up, they can contain CMC, score early, and run the damn football with Brees, I think the Jets have an excellent chance to win this game. And those are my 5 keys to victory. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. How do you feel about that? Did I forget anything? Is there something that you would like to take away and add? Would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. And if you are new to watching my videos, I don't know what you're waiting for, man. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button. We got a lot of cool content coming in the future. Not just Jet stuff, but let's not forget my boxing. That's my bread and butter. We got live fights. We got interviews lined up. It's going to be crazy. So you don't want to miss any of it. Make sure you're along for the ride and come and support your boy. And as always, I appreciate the love and support. This is your boy Johnny signing out from the Hangout Spot, and I'll talk to y'all soon.